What is up, fellow dorks and historians? Thank you for tuning into Mana Rant episode 50, a historic podcast. We specialize in the historic format, and that includes historic brawl as well. The way our show works is through the actual phases of Magic. So we have our Untap, our Upkeep, our Draw, our main phase 1, Combat, main phase 2, End Step, Cleanup, and finally our Discard. And so tonight our main phases are our main topics, and they're going to be going over some interesting decks that we have come up with you, for you guys, and then we'll discuss them and see if there's any ways to improve them. Yeah, if you want to hop around through the episode, we will have time hacks in the description, so you can hop around to any subject you like if you want to skip something, because we have a whole bunch of stuff that we go over here. And so with that, let's go into who we're joined with tonight. My co-host, the Bard of Farts himself, we have DrunkenDork.
Yeah, I mean, I've never known myself as that, but, you know, I guess I'm not as privy to the stench as other people may be. But sure, the Bard of Farts, I like it. Cute.
I would not say privy to those smells, because I have actually witnessed them. And if you're a normal watcher of the podcast, you know that someone is missing tonight. We are missing our beloved Michael Apollo. And what happened to him was actually he spent a bunch of money on a get-rich-quick scheme. So if also you notice, we're streaming on Tuesday tonight, which is early for us. We usually do this on Thursday. That's because me and DrunkenDork are going to Vegas tomorrow. And Apollo was trying to do a real get-rich-quick scheme to go to Vegas, and he bought a whole bunch of hull breakers and tried to upsell them. And and then wouldn't you know, that card got banned in Commander, so the price just plummeted on it. So he's working on some other get-rich schemes tonight. He's not in the hospital or arrested for once, so that is interesting.
That's good.
That is good. Go ahead.
I mean, there's one funny thing I wanted to mention about his Hullbreaker scheme.
Yeah, what's that?
Get rich quick scheme is it got canceled. I think it got banned from Commander. Like, was it yesterday?
Or
today?
I think it was yesterday.
Anyway, yesterday. It was, he didn't pick up the Hullbreakers until after it got banned, you know? So, and he was like, oh man, Daddy's getting a new pair of shoes tonight. Because he thought he was getting a really good deal on all these Hullbreakers at his local Magic store from some, from some scummy other Magic player. And in reality, Apollo is just a big old dummy.
Man, poor Apollo. Well,
yeah.
That brings us to actually our first sponsor of Mana Rant. It's by this new innovative history lesson, actually, and it's brought to us by Michael Apollo. Mana Rant is brought to us tonight by Michael Apollo's D20 history lessons. Have you ever been curious about the history of the D20, the curves, the ridges of the dice? How about the number layouts, the weights, the sizes? Well, then you're in luck. D historian Michael Apollo will explain it all to you in painstaking detail. What about the different shapes? Cubes, petragons, trapezohedrons, octahedrons, dodecahedrons, D20s, D12s, D6s, D4s. Michael Apollo loves all Ds. Ever put a D20 in your mouth? Maybe swallowed it? Well, Michael Apollo has. Apollo has swallowed every D for scientific research and just to see how it feels. So don't delay. Sign up for Michael Apollo's D20 history lessons today.
Pretty good. I like it. So, we finally got a sponsor, and I'm not particularly that proud of it, but I'm not gonna turn away.
It is weird. It's weird that he would sponsor a podcast that he's on and then not even show up to it. But hey, who knows how he works? You know, his schemes are plenty. Yeah,
I don't even think he knows how he works.
All right, so let's move into our first phase of tonight, and that is going to be our untap phase.
Untap.
And Untap is where we open up a drink of our choosing that we're going to be enjoying on the show tonight. So, DrunkenDork, what are you drinking tonight?
All right. I am a fucking idiot. So I already opened my beer and started drinking. I think, like Hoshi said, we're both going out of town, so I've just been super busy today. My mind is not here. Mm-hmm. But from here on out, I'm gonna give it a 50% focus. All right, at least. So
yeah, it might be a little scattered today since Apollo kind of dropped out at the last minute, so everything was not set up for just me and Drunken to do this tonight. So we're playing a little bit of catch up here.
We got it though.
Yeah,
we got it.
We got.
I believe in you.
Well,
what are you put in a lot of work?
What are you drinking?
We'll do this. I'm just drinking. I don't know what it is. A mango 2-2 mango. It's a mango beer.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I am drinking a Dominga, and it is a mimosa sour new Belgian ale. So it's pretty interesting. I like it.
That's what what's crazy about that is it's not a fucking crazy ass mixed drink. That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah. I know.
Very rare do you not do hard liquor.
Yeah, I didn't have the time to prepare that tonight with everything going on. Yeah. But I mean, I saw this at the store the other day and was like, a mimosa sour Belgian ale. Yeah.
I think I've actually had that before.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
It's good. It's really crisp. It's really crisp. I like it. All right, cool. Well, if you guys are enjoying a drink tonight, throw it to us in chat or in the comments and let us know what else you are drinking. Cheers, buddy. All right, and that was our Untap. So now we are going to move into our Upkeep.
Upkeep? Get ya Upkeep!
So our Upkeep phase is our Reddit rant. So tonight, we are going to be going back to Facebook, all right? And so Reddit Rant is where we scour the internet for lunatics screaming about magic, which is easy to find because magic pisses off almost everybody, both of us included, I would say. So let's take a look at who is ranting tonight. And this is going to be on the Magic the Gathering Arena Facebook group. And this is Jesse Brown. And Jesse says, am I the only one tired of just facing the same decks all the time or same deck premise while I'm over here using a deck of spiders because I thought it'd be funny? I'm running into other mono white life gain control white black angel claret precons they gave to everyone, and like maybe 1 out of 20/30 games I'll bump into one other of the precons the game gives. There's just not much variety anymore, and it's kind of depressing. I remember messing about with Minotaurs back in 2018. 2018 is just when I started, so I know I haven't been playing all that long compared to some of you others here, because I thought they were cool. The Minotaurs she's talking about now. While my friends ran around with Sphinx Dexes because she thought they were cute. Laugh out loud. So this is like a completely different take that I've seen on, like, look at how creative I'm being with my decks. You know, why is everyone else like net decking, or in this case using precons, which this has to be in standard. This has to be in standard, right? Like, you don't get away with playing precon.
Yes.
Precons in historic, right? So what do you
I mean, yeah, you don't play precons at all unless you're in the real low ranking with like, well, I don't even know what the lowest ranking is. Copper? What is it? I don't. Bronze?
Bronze, yeah.
Bronze. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's what bronze players say or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and I haven't been in bronze in, I don't even know, because like once like usually I get platinum every month. And like once that happens, I think I start off at rare. I don't, or gold or whatever.
I think it's silver. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. You don't stay in it for long.
Yeah, and so like I don't know. That's what I'm assuming is this person is they're trying to get creative in bronze. But the crazy thing about this is like even bronze players, when they're playing shitty decks, are playing shitty
like tier 1 decks,
constructed decks. You know, like it's wild.
Yeah, I thought this was weird, just because, you know, it sounds great because they're like, I'm making decks to have fun, which is, it's a game, so you're supposed to have fun with it, right? But at the same time, then she's like shitting on other people for, you know, picking the same decks, and it's like, well, if you're playing standard, standard is always like the most limited variety of like decks that are going to be in like any format, because it's such a restricted format, you know. So try changing up. You've been playing since 2018. You should hop into Historic. There's a lot of different decks there, you know. I think like they just don't want to, it's what a lot of people are saying, and what we've talked about a few times, is they should just have like a queue that is like a non-high tier queue. Like if they recognize you're playing like, you know, a Phoenix deck or something like that, like, you know, they don't let you in that queue with that deck or something. So I don't know, it's something for like, for fun stuff like this. But as far as we know, they're not going to do it. I thought this was an interesting comment. It has nothing to do with, they changed it. A bunch of other people have been commenting on this. Never mind. Well, anyways, the top comment on there was something about how the guy was talking about how Arena is basically just like a hive mind now, from like back in the days of Magic, where you used to just, you know, you would play and you would hop on, and then you'd face new exciting decks or whatever when you would go to the store, and you never really knew what you were going to run into, and the variety that people were printing up. And like now it's just people figure out what's like the best decks immediately, and then they just, you know, they net deck them, and that pisses off a lot of old Magic players. But
in this scenario, it's just like, I think it's just people who are scraping at the bottom of the barrel with Arena. Like they don't have a big card selection. And these and Wizards of the Coast was giving away these decks. You know, it's just like, oh, get a free deck when you type in like Friday Night Magic or whatever that one they were giving out recently, which was the Orzhov Angels deck. And so it's like probably the only cards they have that'll make a semi-cohesive deck that feels good, because like, throwing a pile of cards together feels great when it's you and I or probably anyone watching this, because we have a lot of cards to reach back to. So we could throw together a pile of cards, even if it's jank, it's still going to be probably better than that pre-con deck.
Definitely.
Just because we have more to reach to, whereas like these people, you know, they're just fucking playing precons, you know, so that's probably all they got, man. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. So this wasn't the most crazy rant. I just thought it was like a unique take on the, like, look at what a awesome deck builder I am. You all, everyone else sucks. you know, which we get a lot of those here on Reddit Rant. So,
hey girl, you know, you're speaking my language. I am the best. You know, I do think else sucks.
I do think that the comments is uniquely different from when a girl makes a post like this. Like everyone is much nicer to her, which is nice, because historically I don't think nerds are very nice to women that come into like our nerdy stuff. Especially if they have a picture of themselves. Oh man, they get destroyed. But everyone's very nice to her. Where I feel like if me or you made this post, we would have been ripped apart. You know?
Oh, dude.
But
I could like make a very like mild post just about like how much I love Magic, and I'll get ripped apart. You know,
this game's garbage. You're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. All right, cool. Well, that was Reddit Rant. So if you have a rant that you find on the internet that you think would be great for our show, please send it our way. All right, and then that ends our upkeep. So now we're going to move into our draw phase.
Let's draw.
And so our draw phase is where we talk about what Magic formats or like decks or stuff that we've been playing this week. And Drunken, take it away. What have you been playing? What have you been up to in Magic?
So this week I am, you know, it sucks because I feel like this set and the last set, right when they came out, I didn't really have a lot of time to play them in the beginning.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because you kind of like, that's when it's a wild west, right? The first few days, until people really figure out what the meta is.
Yeah.
And so like, it was really unfortunate. Anyway, I did get to play some games though. I got to play a sealed event. I really like that. I think I talked about it last week. and I've been playing this Gruul deck that I made that we'll talk about in main phase 1, and I've also been playing this Is It deck that we'll talk about in main phase 2.
Nice.
But yeah, so far I like the set though. I think it's fun. I don't want to dive too much into it because I kind of want to like take my opinion of it once I start breaking down my decks, you know?
Sure. Yeah. That's fine. We'll keep this quick then. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm kind of sad that I also have been crazy busy this week, so I haven't gotten a chance to like super dive into the set, because this is like the most exciting time when a set drops, you know? You're like, awesome.
Absolutely.
Like I've been looking at all the cards coming out. I have all these plans of like decks that I want to make. I've seen stuff that other people are wanting to do. So yeah, this is like my favorite time in Magic is like first couple weeks before everything gets solidified, which happens super fast now in Historic, like we were just saying, the whole hive mind of Arena. So yeah, I'm kind of sad about that, but I have had a couple great deck experiences, and we'll talk about a couple of them moving into our main phase, which is a great segue.
Sweet.
And with that, that was draw.
Was it?
We're going to move. I thought it was great. We'll move into main phase 1.
Main phase 1.
All right. So in main phase 1 tonight, we are going to be talking about some Gruul decks that Drunken and me came up with. And I really think this set was heavy on some awesome Gruul cards, and it was one of the first decks that I made. And the deck has been great. I've been playing it a lot this week. So let's take a look at yours first, though. Yours is a completely different take on Gruul, and I love it. So take it away. Tell us about this Gruul deck.
Okay, so this thing is it's a pile of cards, and honestly, when I made it, I was thinking about you, man. I was like, I tend to like not veer too far off of like the very Johnny path, you know. I take like the best cards in the set, like Brainstorm and Thoughtseize, and make decks out of them.
Yeah.
But this one,
Power cards.
you know, like I was like, you know, I really, really like these new class cards. I think they're super fun, and I want to make it work. And so I made a deck, a Gruul class. What's this class card called?
Bard class.
Bard class, yeah. I made a Bard class deck with some creatures, but I was like, man, this like doesn't feel good. It just didn't work that well. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make like a more Planeswalker deck. Control style, because the Bard class, it reduces the cost of your Planeswalkers as well, just legendary, you know, spells. So that's what I ended up going with, and I really enjoyed it. So basically, the way it's a control deck is I have a few board wipes with 4 Storm's Wrath, 1 Anger of the Gods. And really what the Bard class card is doing for me is I only get it to turn to level 2. I think I've only gotten it to level 3 a few times, and even then it's not great because you're casting spells and then you have to have the mana to cast the other spells. So it's kind of like, it's a big ask, I feel like, especially in Historic, where you don't generally reach that far unless you're playing against control, and then you're just never going to get your spells off anyway.
Yeah.
And so... you know, where I think it becomes a control deck is like, you know, those spells, those board wipes I already said, and then I have 2 Chandras, which deal damage to creatures, and they also add mana, and they allow me to like exile spells, which is like pseudo card draw. I mean, exile cards off the top of my library. And then Nissa's like one of my finishers after I, you know, destroy the board. And then, or my favorite one is Sarkhan. Man, Sarkhan is like a beast, dude.
Oh yeah.
If they don't deal with my Planeswalkers, then like I just put Sarkhan on the board and it's game. It's done.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I will say the bad thing is Storm's Wrath. It deals damage to Planeswalkers as well, which is kind of weird that I have 4 of them in my deck. But
you're a masochist.
I just like found I had 4 Anger of the Gods originally. But I found that Storm's Wrath worked better in the meta right now because you end up running against creatures that are like, you know, power 4 or greater.
Yeah.
And even though it only hits 4 damage, I can do a Storm's Wrath and then a like Lava Coil or something like that, and it gets around that. So that was the main reason I ran this. And I don't know. I really have fun. I will say though, the whole point of this deck was to do the Bard class, and I think it's absolutely the worst card in the deck.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, it does. Like I started realizing the more I played with it, how slow I realized it was. You know, like turn 2 you play it, turn 3 you level it up. Like that's what makes this card good in a creature deck is you get immediate value out of it.
Yes.
This deck doesn't get immediate value out of it. No. I only have a few creatures that are legendary in here, and that's not what this deck is trying to do. The only time it's super beneficial is like if the game's running long, like they didn't get exactly what my opponents didn't get what they wanted to get, and I'm able to go into level 2 and maybe put another one out at a level 2. Then I'm casting like multiple planeswalkers in a turn, and it's crazy. Yeah, it's just it's wild. But yeah, what do you think?
I think it's really cool. I mean, I really love Vorinclex with planeswalkers and the early control elements that you have here. This is a fun Gruul control deck, and it's sad to hear that Bard class is this slow card in the deck. Unfortunately, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen last week when we were talking about it. I just saw that, it's 4 mana to sink into to get it to start paying off, which you can get, I think, some games with like control or something where that might be awesome. But I mean, there's so much aggro in Historic that you probably, I bet you felt like if you had it, you couldn't even play it because you had to just stay alive basically until you were able to do stuff.
Absolutely. Like I found myself more often than not wanting Mind Stone. I would be like, I'd have a Bard's class in my hand or a Mind Stone in my hand and be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna play the Mind Stone because next turn I'll get value out of it, and the next turn with the Bard class I may not. Like the only time the Bard class worked really well is if I had a Klothys in my hand, because then turn 2 put a Bard class down, turn 3 level up the Bard class, then Klothys only costs 1 colorless mana.
It costs what he cost anyways.
Yeah, so it's like the same thing, and like in that scenario, I'll do it. But dude, Klothys is such a good card. That's what I like. Ultimately came out like realizing, I knew that already. Yeah, and like it's a shame you don't see it enough. But dude, Klothys is so good. It saves you. So good. Gaining the life and dealing damage. Like I have one like very slow grindy games with Klothys against like aggro decks, that are swinging, and they get me down to like 5. Then I wipe the board, throw Klothys down, and it's just like 2 at a time, 2 ping, 2 ping, 2 ping, till eventually I win.
Yeah, it's great, and it's relevant in our format right now with all the graveyard shenanigans going on.
Absolutely.
I think, it's really good for control, like a control deck like this. It's probably why you don't see it, because there's not a lot of Gruul control decks out there, Most Gruul is very aggro. So what did you think was the hardest matchup for this deck?
Honestly, there's quite a few. It's just like Mono Red is probably one of my best matchups against it for it, and then I'd say maybe Control is my worst matchup because Teferi just wins games.
He does. Yeah.
And it's hard to deal with, and Counterspell is. There's a reason blue is always in control decks, or generally always in control decks. It's because blue is just like definitely the control color.
Yeah, that's true. And you have a lot of useless stuff against control decks too, like Lava Coil, and I guess Storm's Wrath could be kind of helpful, but Braid doesn't do very much against him. That's rough because it's more of a mid-range deck too, so that should be the deck that's able to actually handle control. But
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think you would add more monsters into the deck, or less planeswalkers?
I mean, I've been thinking about messing with it a little bit more, but like, I don't know. I tried the monsters, and like, just Bard class. It seems cool, but I just don't think it's good. We just don't have enough green, red, multicolored. Yeah, legendary creatures. We have plenty of green, plenty of red, and it does help like with that, but reducing just like paying 2 to reduce something by 1 just doesn't feel good.
No, yeah. I agree. Man, that sucks. It seems like a really cool deck though. I mean, at least it's probably fun. Yeah, at least it feels fun playing it out, I'm sure. But
it does. That's
the experiment. Oh well. So at least if anyone watching out there, would you recommend that they craft the bard class to?
Fuck no. No way, dude. This is like, what is this? 33 rares and 11 mythics.
Okay.
Please don't make this deck. But it is fun. Like if you have the cards, try it.
Okay.
Try it.
Good. Okay, well, we learned something from this deck then. That Bard class is indeed not a historic, really viable. Maybe yet, Yeah. Maybe someday, but... All right, then. Well, should we move on to my Gruul deck then?
Yeah.
All right, so...
Talk about it.
I am playing a more Gruul aggro style deck here, where I got 4 Llanowar Elves, 3 Pelt Collectors, 4 Burning Tree Emissaries, seeming very standard Gruul aggro right now. Then I added in 3 Ranger class into the deck, and this is the other class, green class card that came out. I have 3 Scavenging Oozes. I have 4 Werewolf Pack Leaders, which is the other new card that came out. 3 Bone Crusher Giants, 4 Gruul Spellbreakers, 3 Kazarka Mammoths, 3 Lovestruck Beasts, 4 Collected Companies, and then a couple of the Manlands in there. I threw in 2 of the Den of the Bugbear, which has been pretty cool actually too. So the main new cards in this deck are going to be the Bard class and the Werewolf Pack Leader, as well as the Bugbear Manland. And
the Ranger class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Ranger class. Sorry, I don't know what I said. Bard class. Yeah, Ranger class, which has been just awesome. The Ranger class has been amazing. It feels really strong. The Werewolf Pack Leader is also insane. The card draw that you get out of it, if you guys don't know what the Werewolf Pack Leader is, it's a 3/3 2-drop, which is already pretty good. It's non-legendary, so you can have multiple in there, and then it has Pack Tactics, so whenever you attack with 6 power or more, as long as the werewolf has to attack too. That's like the major downside of it, I guess. But when it attacks, if you're attacking with 6 power, you draw a card, and so this triggers off of every Werewolf Pack Leader that you have, so you can have multiple of them down. And I feel like that card is strong. It's really good card draw. And then just early in this game with, like, if you get a Pelt Collector down, a Burning Tree into like a Ranger class, it's insane. Ranger class is so good for its 4th ability. And I've ran into a couple instances now in playing it. When we talked about it last week, I just barely got to play it. Recently I've been playing it, and this level 2. So sorry, let's talk about Ranger class real quick, because when you cast it, you get a 2/2 werewolf, which is why I thought this would actually be viable in Historic. Was the exact opposite of the reason that Bard class, right? You get something out of it immediately when you get in, which I feel like is super relevant in this high-paced format that we have, especially because that can trigger Pelt Collector on turn 2 if you got your Pelt Collector down. And then when you upgrade it to level 2, if you're in an awkward phase where you don't have anything to do with 2 mana, or sometimes it's even good to do this just to like buff something up that might get traded away. I've done that before where I had stuff to cast, but leveling up to level 2 gives you a +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature that you have. Only one. But yeah, there are times where they had a 2/2, and then I was attacking with like Burning Tree, and I was like, well, let's make Burning Tree a 3/3 then, right? And so I can get that damage in. And then it's always good. This is going to just continuously up my stuff and make my threats bigger every turn, and then I can keep casting stuff. And then the third level, which is where you can cast cards directly off of the top of your library. And this has saved my butt so many times, because this deck is real low to the ground. We got almost like 3 drops is my highest converted mana cost of anything. So I can, pretty much crap out everything out of my hand. With the Bone Crusher Giants, you can put them in the Adventure Zone as well as the Lovestruck Beast, so you can also get them out of your hands early. And then being able to play cards off the top of your deck is just card draw, basically. So you can get rid of those cards until you get to lands, and then you get the land, and you can do all the other stuff. There's a couple of mana sinks in this deck, especially with the Bard class, you can sink more mana into those too. And then we got the Scavenging Ooze, which is super relevant. You can sink mana into that. So it's just I feel like it's worked out pretty well. I haven't felt like I've ran into anything too much that put me at too much of a disadvantage. What do you think about this, Drunken?
I mean, it looks solid. Yeah, it looks like a mono green splash red deck, which I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know. So at one point you said Ranger class had on level 4, man. Where the fuck is that level hiding? I want to know what level 4 is, dude. That sounds like if level 3 is that good, dude. What is level 4? You win, you gotta just win games.
You're not ready for level 4 yet, dude. You gotta reach.
Oh, I'm not.
That's my small brain reading the converted mana cost of level 3, and that which is 4 mana. It's 3 colorless and 1 green to up it to level 3. But then my brain was like, level 4, I guess. You counted to 4, so that means level 4. That's all that is.
I thought maybe Wizards of the Coast was, they were doing some dual modal cards.
It's on the backside.
They did one Ranger class. It gets level 4 because it's fucking that badass.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I really like it. I really like the Werewolf Pack Leader. Like last week, I said it was one of my favorite cards out of the set. I think it was my number 1 or 2. And I've definitely played with this card this set. Like I made a mono green deck and I loved it. I definitely think the downfall is it has to attack too. But man, if you like, what I think is so great about this, say you put this on turn 2 and then you put another one, or do you have Land of War Elves in here?
Yeah, I have 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do. So say you put this down on turn 2. And then turn 3, you get another one. Turn 4, you're attacking in for 6. You're drawing 2 cards.
Yep.
It's so good. I know that's like magical Christmas land or whatever.
It's happened.
These things do not last.
I mean, I've had
I'm sure it has.
Yeah.
Yeah. They generally are just like immediate targets. So like, and like I'll put out a Gruul Spellbreaker. I'll put this out, then a Gruul Spellbreaker, and they'll be like, no, I'm going to kill the Werewolf Pack Leader because, that thing fucking, I don't want you drawing cards, man.
Yeah.
Just because like this deck, especially this deck right here, it's very low to the ground, like you said. So like the last thing anyone wants you to do is draw cards, because that's where like decks like this generally like fall apart.
Yeah.
Is once the board's wiped, you have no cards in hand because you fucking dumped them all on the ground and you're just trying to get in for the win by turn 4 or whatever. And it's cards like this that really shine in a deck like this, and I think it looks solid. And then Ranger class, I can't speak higher of it. I definitely think it's the best class card. I thought maybe it was going to be Bard class, but that's because I'm a fucking idiot and I don't know anything. Because obviously, when you read Ranger class, you're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Level 2. Oh, level 3 too. What the fuck? Yeah, this is great. You got a. What is that? Nylea on level 3, like her ability.
Yeah.
It's wild. So yeah, I do like it. And like you made the perfect point. Turn 1 Pelt Collector, turn 2 Ranger class. That's great.
Yep.
And then and then when you're attacking with your Pelt Collector on turn 2, it's already a 3/3. It's it's not, because it's not leveled up yet.
Well, no, not yet. Yeah, you have to punt so that part is a little weird, but I mean, it's like I said, it's not too hard, especially with the Land of War Elves in here, to get a little bit of extra mana and have something to pump it in. The thing that another awkward part about this deck is Burning Tree with Werewolf Pack Leader. Which sucks because Burning Tree, when it enters the battlefield, it pips a red and a green, right? And Werewolf Pack Leader is dual green, so Burning Tree cannot like pip you into casting the Werewolf Pack Leader, which sucks. I've run into those situations where it makes for some weird awkward opening hands where you really got to like think about like how you're gonna play out your first couple of turns, and sometimes it's just gonna be awkward and you just have a wasted burning tree. I feel like especially with running 4 of the pack leaders in here. But I mean, I still think it's worth it to run it because the upside of pack leader is just insane. That card draw helps you out so much.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. If I was to take any card out of here, it would probably be the burning tree.
Really?
Which sounds wild and like stupid, but like it's for that reason specifically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, right? Because it's like it's like a mono green deck, right? Like it really is, and it's just splash red for the Gruul Spellbreaker, which is great, and the Bone Crusher Giant, and well, not the burning tree. Yeah. And so utilizing that red isn't always going to be doable. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I do like it though, and I think it's great. What is your weaknesses? Like, what is this good against? What is it bad against? What is it mediocre against?
I think the hardest matchup that I've had with this is maybe like Angel's Life Gain, because I don't really have a way of interacting with them. So they are difficult. The good thing about this is this deck is hitting hard pretty early on, so they don't have a lot of ways of like that deck requires them to have a ton of life, right? So if they get their nut draw where they get like
when do they not get their nut draw? Dude? I feel like that deck always gets his fucking nut draw.
That deck gets lucky a lot, but if they don't get that like super nut draw where like by turn 3 they've made like 7 angels or whatever, like I feel like it's good. It's easy enough to keep them low enough to where they're not getting like the advantage out of their deck, and I have beaten that deck before with this, but it was a tough one, and it's mainly because I had Ronus out, and Ronus has Death Touch, and he can give other things trample and stuff. So I only have one Ronus in this deck, but he's huge.
Dude, the card's dope.
It's so good. It is so good. It's just legendary. That's the downside of it, and it requires another 4 toughness or higher, which is not hard to get in this deck at all. You can I had him on the field and they were just removing everything else besides him, and then every like new thing that I came in, I was easily able to either make it 4 temporarily or it was 4 above or something. So Ronus is crazy. And the Den of the Bugbear has also been good. I just feel like one of the high points of this deck is if you're in a slugfest, this thing doesn't run out of steam like a Gruul deck does, because you had those man lands, you had the Ranger class to pull stuff out, you got the Werewolf class to like draw cards. So that has felt like kind of the best out of this thing for me, is that I haven't felt like hopeless, like I'm like, oh crap, I'm stuck top decking now, like it's over, this is where the downfall is. Like I feel more hopeful playing this deck where I'm like, I can come back. I can do it. But yeah.
I'll definitely say I personally think the manlands are more disappointing than I thought they were going to be. Like the Den of the Bugbear is pretty much the only one I played so far.
Yeah.
And I feel like whenever I activate, like they wait for you to activate that Den of the Bugbear, and like they fucking destroy it, and then I'm down to land, and I sink a bunch of mana into it, because 4 mana is a lot.
It is.
Plus that guy, I know it is a good card. It has a lot of value there, but I think like the cost of these manlands is just so expensive that like I actually think they're kind of disappointing. But I'm glad you have had success with it.
I have. I also have had it killed before as well, because they're dangerous, But I feel like it's really good against control, and like just Gruul is in general good against control because of all the hasty stuff that you got in there.
And I mean, Gruul Spellbreaker is really good against control.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the only thing that I really miss having in here is like Texting Beast, because that card is insane.
What are you doing with your life, man? You need to put that dude in here.
So what do? Take out one collected company to throw him in there? I don't know. It's tough. Like dude. I've looked at this thing to try and figure out what to take out, and I like everything, so it's a real difficult decision. But hey, what do you guys out there think? Do you think this deck is good? You're gonna give it a shot. What do you think I can take out to put Texting Beast? Should I put Texting Beast in? I don't know. I'm kind of lost in here. And maybe if we had our Gruul expert here today, he could give his 2 cents. But he is, he's doing whatever, working on his D20s. So
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
All right, you got anything else?
So yeah, I actually wanted to say, you brought it up, the Gruul control deck I made. It actually is really good against the life gain deck. That is one of the ones that it works well against.
Yeah, awesome.
That's it really punishes them.
Yeah, that's so funny. Two different Gruul decks, two different things that they're strong and weak against. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Oh, it looks like Apollo is on chat, so that's great.
Look at that.
Look at that. There he is. He's taking a break from scheming to be with us. Let's move into our combat phase.
Dorkish combat.
It's so bad, dude. It's like Peter Griffin followed by what's his Sloth from Goonies, dude.
A little bit. I feel like it fits the essence of the show.
Yeah. All right.
A little bit.
Yeah. I like it. Cool. Okay. So this is the horseshit card game. This is a game where I name 3 to 4 cards. I used to open up packs, but for the sake of making it more watchable on stream, I just started picking out cards ahead of time and then editing them so we can just throw them up there for you. So anyway, this is where I name 3 to 4 cards, and it's up to this drunken idiot to figure out. Man, I did that terribly. I'm doing real good right now. I named 3 to 4 cards. I got this. You guys, I got this.
I believe in you.
One of them is fake. The other ones are real cards. I name them from a set. So, it's super easy. Everyone should know every card that ever existed in Magic. So I don't know why this idiot wouldn't get it every single time.
Well,
we generally run on a point system. This week, Apollo's not here, so we're not doing points. This is just for fun, just for bragging rights.
Yeah.
Just so we can point at each other and call each other idiots.
But just in case anyone is curious about the points, Apollo is losing terribly.
Oh, dude. Always.
I believe he's at -7 or something, so...
Yeah. He's real good at this game. Anyway,
all right.
So here we go. I'm going to name 3 cards this week. What do you think, man? Say we'll do a fake point system here. All right. So bet 1 to 3. This set is going to be this newest Zendikar set. I forget what it's called. Return to Zendikar.
Zendikar Rising, I believe.
Zendikar Rising. Okay, so how well do you think you know this?
I think I know it decently well. I'd probably go with 2 points if I was to bet on this one. Realistically, if I was in the game right now, thinking about our current points, how we're doing, I would probably bet 3. I have a feeling Apollo would bet 3 because he just yellows 3 points every time, which is the maximum amount of points that we can bet. But Well, I'll bet 2. That's our.
It's kind of like Jeopardy, right? Like. When you're really high above, it's like, well, there's no point in betting a shit ton of points because I'm already gonna win.
Ahead,
yeah.
I don't want to. Well, with you being the house and like you get points if I lose, so like I don't want to bet too much and then have you like jump ahead of me too. So there's a little strategy involved in this like nonsense game that we developed, I guess. At least I think so.
Very much a nonsense game.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Zendikar Rising. All right, so first one is Canopy Baloth. 3 and a green for a creature beast at common. Says landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Canopy Baloth gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And he is a 4/3, he or she.
Okay.
Next one is Scorch Rider. 3 and a red for a creature human warrior at common. It has kicker 1 and a red, and it says when Scorch Rider enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, It gains haste until end of turn, and it is a 4/3.
Okay.
So 2/4/3, 4-mana 4/3s right there.
Yeah.
And then finally,
That's tough.
we got this guy, Factory Colossus, 7 colorless mana for an artifact, creature, golem at common. It says when Factory Colossus dies, return another target artifact with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. And it is a 7/5. So we got 3 cards here.
Yeah, I mean, the Canopy Baloth, I'm pretty sure that's a real card. The Scorch Rider, I am a little, like, iffy on, but the Factory Colossus sounds pretty sus to me. I don't know. Is there are there factories in Zendikar? I don't know. Maybe there are. I mean, Wizards does weird stuff sometimes. But I think I'm gonna go.
Misha's factory, and there's definitely factories in it.
Yeah, I guess so. Either way, that one doesn't sound familiar-ish to me, so I'm gonna go with the Factory Colossus. Locking it in. Apollo, Apollo's in chat, so let's see. What is Apollo? Do you have anything?
No, he's dead. He's too busy crying over all the money he lost and his like, big money Ponzi scheme.
If I don't say anything, I can't lose this week. So yeah, I'll lock it in with Factory Colossus. Let's do that.
Okay, Factory Colossus. Here we go. Well, you fucking idiot, DrunkenDork, because DrunkenDork, you did it wrong this week. Yeah, it is Factory Colossus. That card doesn't exist. They're definitely factories. Like, there are factory cards in, and they're always artifacts. Yeah, it's always artifact-based shit.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a factory, like mechanic that it would have of bringing something back, but it didn't sound very familiar.
Yeah, I failed big time. So I am already behind. I think I'm actually up 1 point. But I am behind 2 pretend points now.
Yeah, pretend points hurt the most, actually, I think.
Yeah, they really do. It hurts pride, man. It's my pride.
That's true. Well, let's just say that Apollo also lost it, so that probably makes you feel better, I would imagine.
I mean, it's whatever at this point. I just expect him to lose, you know.
Yeah.
Really, I'm fucking gunning for you, man. I don't like Apollo. He's just so far back. It's like.
But him losing makes you gain points. So right, that's
true.
That is good.
That is true. Yeah. That's right. Good point.
Yeah.
That's why we need him here, man. So I can get some
so you can leech points off
to offset your winning. I need a win. You know.
That's true, because you would have won 1 point because he would have bet 3. Right, and then you would have been up 1 actually from that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Damn, all right,
Apollo, you blew it.
Yeah, you did. All right, so that was our combat phase. How'd you do in the card game? Did you guys get it right, or did you miss it like Apollo most likely did? So with that, we'll move into main phase 2.
Main phase 2.
All right. So in main phase 2,
you said it, and then you played the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we got our sound bites, man. We got to play the sound bites, you know. I think, I think that's what you're supposed to do. We don't know what we're doing here. So, man, main phase 2, we're gonna go over some other deck lists that we came up with. We were gonna talk about the meta because normally we do Apollo's wacky wild card of the week in metagame showdown, but he's not here this week, and also the meta I feel like is so unstable at this point. It's really not worth addressing because we haven't been playing enough to really see anything, and I feel like it's going to take another week or two before like it kind of stabilizes a little bit more. So we just thought we would talk about fun decks that we came up with some more. So let's get into some decks that we came up in. Drunken, you're up first again with your Is It Good deck.
Is it good?
Is it good? Oh, I'm sorry. That is the best English that you
all right,
did
let's
there.
get it fucking straight here. All right, Jesus Christ, you left out a whole word.
I know. I'm
all
sorry.
Right.
I can't read.
Yeah, you should be.
I read the
all right,
Reddit
so this is about as generic as you can get. This is basically the first deck I made as soon as the set released, right when it released at 8 in the morning. I don't think I had gotten any sleep yet. I think I just got off work because I work awful, terrible hours. And I was like, oh yeah, set's releasing. I'm just going to make the most generic deck ever because I want to play Demi-Lich.
Yeah.
So here it is. Blue-red is it. I got 4 Arclight Phoenixes, 2 Crackling Drakes, 4 Demi-Lich, which is really what I wanted, 4 Dread Horde, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Expressive Iteration, 4 Faithless Looting, 2 Magma Opus, 2 Memory Lapse, 4 Opt, 2 Shock, 2 Thrill of Possibilities. Very fucking boring. But I'll tell you what, right when I turned it on and I made this deck, I just threw all these cards together and just started blasting away. I was winning nonstop. Demi-Lich is so good.
Really?
It's like, it's wild, you know?
It seems crazy. I haven't played against it yet, though.
Demi-Lich?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I played against Izzet decks. I played against quite a few, actually. But either they just didn't get Demi-Lich or they didn't have it in there. And I don't know if everybody is up to date on it or it's made its way into the new deck list yet, but I haven't really heard anything about it either. So
I think maybe if you haven't seen it, it's because like I've been in gold or rare or whatever. I haven't gotten out of there yet.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been able to play enough, and it may not be good enough when you start playing higher tier decks.
yeah.
But like in the lower tier decks, I think it works really well. Especially because you're able to just like cast out your graveyard. Like I found myself Faithless Looting, throwing it in the graveyard, casting it out of the graveyard, you know, because you see it like as you cast spells, it reduces cost.
Yeah.
And it feels amazing. You know, you get this 4/3. The only thing that sucks is like whenever you run against a mono black deck, they're like, now that you exiled all the spells in your graveyard, spent the rest of your mana, I'm gonna destroy this with like a freaking 2 mana spell, you know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good. But besides that, like this deck works really well. It has a lot of rares. It has a lot of mythics. If you don't have these cards, don't buy them. Actually,
Yeah, these are pretty.
Actually, besides, I think Demi-Lich, all these cards are buyable.
These are pretty solid. Yeah, I think these.
Yeah, these are all buyable cards. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't have these cards, buy them, make the deck, try it out.
Sure.
Because if you don't use them in this deck, you'll use them in another deck because all these cards are viable, except for Magma Opus, maybe not. Demi-Lich, maybe not. But everything else, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think? Any questions?
It looks good. I'm curious. Like, have you been playing the normal Arc-like Phoenix deck, the one that's like a tier 1 meta deck right now? Have you been playing that deck?
Have I played against it?
No. Have you played that actual deck?
Before, yes, I have,
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. So I just want to know how.
Well,
you
not the one that's top right now, but I have played Arclight decks before. Yes.
Okay. Well, so I was curious if you had played like the tier 1 meta Arclight Phoenix deck that's currently being played by 80% of people. I feel like in Arena, or in how this deck you think compares to that one with the Demi-Lich in there. Do you think Demi-Lich is a solid inclusion into that deck, or does it actually weaken it?
I think the Demi-Lich might weaken it, honestly, because I think I know a deck you're talking about, and is it the Arclight Magma Opus deck? Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't think they're playing Magma Opus. They usually play the one where they have that one spell that they can cast 2 cards from their graveyard. So it's like a 1 cost spell, but allows them to
Mizzix Mastery?
No, not Mizzix Mastery. It's like a finale of something. It's the red finale, right? And it allows them to cast a sorcery in an instant from their graveyard.
Yes.
So when they cast that, they cast 3 spells, and then they bring back the Arc-like Phoenix because that one spell casts them 3 spells, basically. So I feel like that's like the tier 1 deck that I play against a lot. So
I feel like things are cyclical because I remember when Finale came out, like that was the deck to play. Obviously, Faithless Looting wasn't out then, because it just works so well, right? Like, throw all your Arclight Phoenixes into the bin, and then you cast a Finale for 3 mana. You get all your Arclights back, and yeah, it works so well. Yeah, I know I have not played against that with this deck, and honestly, I don't know how well this would fit in. I mean, I don't think this would fit into that at all, because I think the Finale is what makes that deck like so solid, right? And basically this does nothing with the Finale, because that is definitely a best of 1 deck. Like, this is a best of 1 deck. And I really think that's where you have to stop messing with, like, the, you know, you have a synergy or whatever, and like you need that synergy to work, right? And this would just throw that whole synergy off. So no. Say no.
All right. Interesting. So, I mean, Demi-Lich is a mythic rare, so you would probably say craft that deck over this one then, if you were on the
fence.
Would,
but I do think Demi-Lich is so good. Like, it's just the potential is so high. We're gonna, like, as they start introducing older sets, this card's just gonna be, you're gonna see it more and more. Is if they never ban Faithless Looting and Brainstorm, this deck is gonna, this card is gonna exist, and it's gonna be in the top tier. For sure.
Definitely. Maybe adding some like counter spells or something into this deck. Maybe not, like, you know, using the Arc like Phoenix shell, you know, and trying something else with it, because the Arc like Phoenix and Demi-Lich are kind of trying to do the same thing, I think. Maybe a
little bit,
or maybe not. I don't know. It's
I mean, the thing is, you can get Demi-Lich and Arclight back at the same time, because Arclight costs you nothing, where Demi-Lich, you're casting spells and then you're returning it, you know, like through reducing its cost.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I think it's interesting. I think you should do some further testing with it. Maybe you know, craft out the full Arc-like Phoenix deck, the one that's like a tier 1 deck. Try giving that a shot.
Oh, I have it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe trying them back to back, and then seeing what the difference is, and then if this could be worked into there, because that could be a horrible monster that you could create possibly and be a plague upon us in Historic. You know, because I feel like Demi-Lich is just made for this deck. But
I agree.
I think it might need a little different tuning. So maybe playing a back to back might give you that insight. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say about it?
Nope, not at all.
Awesome. Well then, let's move on to my nonsense that I came up with. This is also looking at some cards where I was like, I love these cards. I want them to be in a deck now, so I shall make it so. And so this is an animator deck, and this is an animator deck that is based off of a kind of like an amalgam of a deck from S'mores and Bacon, who is a member of our a fellow dork and a member of our Discord, who comes up with a lot of cool decks and that he shows us. And so he came up with this deck right here, which is an animator deck, or he kind of morphed this from somebody else's deck that he saw, and it's this is a Demir artifact animator deck, right, where it's just black and blue, and it works very well. You can get a turn 2 4/4 with this deck. Super powerful, right? And then he's running Metallic Rebuke, where he's got some counter spells and stuff in here. You got Emery and the new card, the Staff of Black Waterdeep or whatever is in here. This is my version of it. I changed this up a little bit, where I put some vehicles in. So I took this deck, which I really liked and had a really fun time playing with, and got quite a few wins. And then I kind of morphed it into this because I really wanted to add Oswald Fiddlebender into this deck, and I wanted to make a Azorius version of this artifact deck. And so this one has been a lot of fun, actually. I feel like it's a little off. Like there's something else I need to do to get it right. And maybe you can pinpoint that for me, because I mean, it does feel very strong. So let's start off. I have 1 Mox Amber. I have 4 Ornithopters. I have 3 Stone Coil Serpents. I have 2 Aether Bombs, or Aether Spell Bombs, sorry. 4 Ginger Brutes, and then I have 3, what is this card called? The something hole, Portable Hole, which is a new card from this set, which is a 1-drop artifact that comes in, and you can exile.
Sweet.
Yeah, you can exile a permanent with mana cost 2 or less as long as Portable Hole is on the battlefield. So this card is super good in our historic format, I feel like right now. Then I have 3 Black Staffs of Waterdeep. I have 2 Colossal Plows, which is a ridiculous card, and then I have the Heart of Kieran, which is another vehicle. So these are a couple of vehicles that I have. The Plow is like a 7/3 or whatever, and then when you attack, you gain 3 life, and it adds 3 white mana to your. But it's like you need to accrue it with 6 or something, so it's ridiculous to accrue the thing. And then I have 2 Oswald Fiddlebenders in here, where he's a new card where he is like the white artifact version of Birthing Pod. If you don't know what that is, it means you sacrifice a creature, or usually it's a creature. In this case, it's going to be an artifact, and then you can search your deck for an artifact with converted mana cost 1 above that one, and then put it into the battlefield. So the Vanifar is another card that we have in Historic that also lets you do this. And then I got some Volt Scourges in there. I got 2 Emeries. I have a Filigree Familiar, which is a 3-drop artifact, because like I'm having a real hard time finding good 3-drop artifacts, and this is one that gains you a little bit of life and draws you a card when it dies. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. This isn't one that I could easily, I feel like, find something better for. I have Scrap Trawler, which I might want to switch him out for another Scrap Trawler, because when Scrap Trawler dies, you can return from your graveyard a artifact with converted mana cost less than Scrap Trawlers. In this deck, you're sacking artifacts, right? And so you're bringing them back. So you can get some like kind of weird, like, reanimator synergy thing going on. Then we have 3 skilled reanimators, or 3 skilled animators, where when they come in, they're a 1/3 for 3, and they can turn any artifact into a 5/5. Which is great in this deck, because we have a lot of low cost ones. And then so I have 4 of those actually. And then I have 2 Solemn Simulacrums, and then a Sovereign Council Flagship as my high end that I have in here, which is a 6/5 vehicle that comes in. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, and whenever it attacks, it deals 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker. So the whole point of these vehicles is to animate them with either skilled animator or the Black Staff of Waterdeep, and then turn them into either a 4/4, which is what the Black Staff does, or skilled reanimator turns them into a 5/5, which is crazier. So the Plow, right, becomes a creature, and then you're gaining life and getting mana with it. The Sovereign ship becomes something, and then being able to pull them out of your deck with Oswald Fiddlebender and stuff, being able to sack other artifacts. So what do you think about this deck? It looks like a total mess when you're I feel like looking at it. How do you feel about it?
So I think it looks cool. I think it looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, like, what's the green card that works like Oswald? What's that card called? One's banned in Modern.
Birthing Pod.
Yeah, Birthing Pod.
Mm-hmm.
So the way Birthing Pod works is it's a combo win, which is, of course, how these types of cards are going to work. Which unfortunately, we don't really have anything like that in here. I do like it. I do like where it's going. I love the fact that you can scrap trawler. You can Oswald into Scrap Trawler, grab, whatever. Unfortunately, there's no great 4 mana.
No, I feel like
artifacts in here. There is like a, I guess Solemn's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that, and then you can also return another artifact. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. That's pretty sweet. That's a nice little fun synergy. I like that you have a top end in here with Sky Sovereign. If I were you, I'd take the Sky Sovereign out, and I'd put one of the what are they called? Not Titans, the artifact creatures that they made one in each color. What the fuck are they called?
Oh, you're talking about the Gear Hulks.
Yeah, Gear Hulk, like, as my top end. But
So
this is an amazing card, you know?
Yeah. So Gear Hulk is like he's 6 mana though, so I would have to have another like level for him, you know. That's the downside of that. Yeah, I'm trying to get like the whole stepping stone thing for Oswald, but not like overcommit to it because Oswald is a lightning bolt for removal. People like read him and they're like, "Oh no, that dies immediately."
I believe. I mean, I believe that for sure.
So I try to like, you know, keep the whole essence of that last deck that I was talking about, the Dimir one, where I can still beat people to death with like a 4/4 Ornithopter, you know, like, and all these other things out of nowhere, get that like early damage in, and then do this kind of shenanigans thing on the backside. I just feel like the shenanigans thing needs maybe some refinement or maybe some better artifacts. I feel like I can turn this into a combo deck with the Paradox engine in here and then doing some, you know, some nonsense with that. But that would take a lot more fiddle bending for me to get it there, pun intended. So, yeah. I know that's terrible. I'm shamed. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I think it looks sweet, dude. There's a card I'm trying to find right here. That I'm surprised you don't have in here. I just shook my camera.
I saw
unfortunately.
that.
Sorry, everyone. What's that new artifact land? Why don't you have that in here? I'm curious.
The one that makes the treasure vaults?
Yes.
It's because I'm running like...
Is it because it's... I guess you're 3 colors, so that's kind of hard.
I'm 2, technically, because the Vault Scourge, you don't need black for, right? You can just shock... because it's...
okay.
It's Phyrexian mana. So, yeah, technically, this is whatever the white... blue, black...
Or Azorius.
No, that's not Azorius.
White, blue, black?
Yeah, the Shard.
It's Esper.
Esper, yes. Yeah, so technically it's Esper because of the Vault Scourge, but you don't need the black mana, right? Because you can basically shock yourself for it. But I also have the Spire of Industry, which makes black mana as well, too. But, I don't know. I just felt like maybe that was a little too much. Because I have the Blink Moth Nexus in here. And Blink Moth Nexus is just it's a game ender. When you're doing these kind of aggro decks.
Dude, so if you have... Now, hear me out here.
Okay.
So...
Lay it on me.
If you have... where did I have your deck? I want to make sure I'm looking at it correctly. There it is. Okay. So, if you have the wand out...
Yeah.
Right? The Black Staff of Waterdeep.
Yes.
And you have this land out. Turn 3, you can turn a land into a 5/5.
Okay.
Or not only that, you could make a treasure token and then turn your treasure token into a 5/5.
That's true.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I feel like you have a lot. You can make a treasure token, like it's something to sink mana into, and it's a land.
Yeah.
And you can, with that other blue card you showed me that turns what it enters the battlefield, turns something into a skilled animator.
Yeah, skilled animator.
You can do that. I don't know, man. I feel like you should have at least one in here.
That's true.
One.
Skilled because like Blink Moth, you have to activate to turn it into a artifact creature, and then it loses that at the end of the actual phase. So skilled animator would just be able to make that land a 5/5 immediately. Yeah. Yep. Okay. That might be worth maybe taking out a blink or 2 to throw that in there. I'm not sure. Yes. That seems good. I mean, I feel like the deck.
But besides that, it's
Sorry, I feel like it's.
Besides that, I like it. Yeah, it looks fun. I'm glad you only have one Mox Amber in here.
Yeah.
Because unless you're, I feel like people overuse this card and it turns into nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like it. This fucking Sky Sovereign's crazy, but I hope it turns out results for you.
It's won me games for sure. Yeah, because it comes in and it takes out a threat, and then if you animate it, it can take out another threat. I just wish it hit face. That was the other thing, but I feel like having one in there is like it's nice. It's one of those nice things to have. Another top end would be good, but I don't want to go too high on the mana with this deck because I'm running not a lot. But yeah, I'm trying to be a little more low to the ground because that's just how Historic is right now.
And you have a sideboard. I didn't even see that.
I think it's a sideboard from the other deck, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
all
nothing
right.
too crazy.
This is
not
just
worth
s'mores and bacon.
Not worth talking about. I am not a best of 3 player. I just go balls to the walls in 1 right now. Maybe someday when I have more time, I'll get back into best of 3, but. Anyways, yeah. So that was this deck. Did you have something else?
Oh no, I am hot as shit in this room right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I have 2 windows open. It's fucking hotter than hell. I'm ready to get the hell off the podcast.
All right. Well then let's transverse into our end step.
I love it.
She's gonna break up with me for that one, but it's worth it until it happens.
Great.
I guess
It's definitely worth it, dude.
So end step is normally where we talk about kind of random stuff. So like stuff we've been doing outside of Magic, or that recently we've been doing a thing where we've been talking about the history of how we got into Magic, and that's been a lot of fun actually to reminisce and like let you guys kind of know a little bit more about our history with actual Magic, because we've been playing for a long time. But I mean, last week we went really long. I feel like we're kind of stepping a little bit into the long thing again there, and Apollo's not here, so I feel like maybe we should just save that for another day. What do you think?
I think so. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, cool.
I do have one thing to say real quick.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So I've been looking at making a modern deck.
And
there's this super sweet net deck right now. Red, white, green, enchantment lock.
Whoa.
Hoshi. Fun. This has both of our names on it, dude.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't have 9 lives and solemnity, unfortunately.
Weak sauce.
But it runs 4 Blood Moon. Okay.
Okay, I like
and
that.
4 Blood Moon and 4 Sterling Grove. And Sterling Grove, I don't know if you know what that card is, but it just says all enchantments you control have Shroud.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's definitely if a deck spoke to me that was in Modern, it's this one that that screams your name.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel like you need to check this shit out, man, because it's a cheap deck.
Yeah.
And you may have some of the cards. I'm definitely looking at building it myself. It looks really fun, so I can get to a card shop, play some Modern. Sorry, Historic fans.
Yeah.
Because Modern looks sick as fuck right now.
It does look fun. It's a more eternal format. Shoot me a link, man. I will check it out. I've never really played Modern, but it might be worth looking at.
Maybe I'll bring 2 Modern decks to Vegas and we can play a game.
Sounds fun, dude.
Okay.
All right. Let's move in.
All right, let's finish. Stop talking, dude. Let's finish it.
Let's move into our cleanup.
Cleanup.
So cleanup is our social media promo stuff. We're just gonna flash on the screen right now. Unfortunately, not on the stream, but on the YouTube video, we'll have all of the links and everything for where you can listen to the podcast if you want to take it on the go. We have a Discord channel. And then we're always working on stuff with this. We're kind of slow to come about stuff because all 3 of us work, but we are getting the podcast. I feel like it's coming up more and more, right? And we do this for free. We don't have any kind of monetization on the pod either. So if you guys just want to,
well, now we do.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We have Apollo's
D20 history lessons.
Yeah, D history lessons.
So if you guys want to throw us a like and a subscribe, or if you're on any of like the podcast forums, like a review or something like that, that'd be great. That'd be really helpful if you enjoy our content. And with that, we will move into our
Discard phase. Drink 'em up, boys.
And so this is our psychotic phase where we finish the drinks that we have been drinking tonight. So yeah. Any final words for the peeps, Drunken?
I think so. So I think I'm gonna tell Apollo to rebrand into Apollo's History. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
No.
Yeah, I tried it. I'm tired now.
You might be-
All right. Yeah. No. Cheers, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.